Hello, Bl'Artagnan here with a Should You Pull video for Core, the shiny new GL first character coming to DFFOO. I'll be discussing his kit and sharing my thoughts on him, and I'll do it all in less than 4 minutes because that's how long this royalty-free music lasts. Now, I've said before on this channel that I call these videos Should You Pulls to sucker folks into for the views, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'll be pulling for Core because I have the resources to spare, and I try to pick up GL first units when they show up because they open up opportunities for creativity beyond what's done in JP. So instead of telling you whether or not you should pull, I'm going to try and give you an idea of what to expect, because ultimately it comes down to your roster, your playstyle preferences, your character attachments, your resources, your pull plans. It's a personal question, so hopefully I give you the tools to make the informed decision in less than 4 minutes, because this time limit was a really stupid idea. So Core's base kit is pretty simple. His skill 1's a single target with splash, skill 2 is an AoE. They both do a double brave dump, which is cool, and they both grant his unique oath buff to one of his allies. We'll get to what that buff does in a second because it's pretty juicy. His EX is an AoE 100% damage attack, which is pretty cool. He gives a personal buff to himself, which is basically the same thing as the oath buff. So the oath buff, it gives modest offensive stats, some surprisingly good defensive stats actually, and makes the unit unbreakable. Same with his EX, same deal. The neat thing about the buff is how it ties into Core's bonus attack. It's not a follow-up, it's a bonus. I actually deleted my the original video I posted this because I got that wrong. It happens at the beginning of the turn, not the end of the turn, which is different. So whenever Core, his oathed ally, or an enemy targeting either of them attacks, Core is going to do a reverse follow-up attack. It happens at the start of the turn. Similar to Yang, except at the start. And the comparisons to Yang are going to be inevitable. Same with Cloud of Darkness PT, but they're not applicable here because Core's attack is going to be tied to a buff he's giving to an ally, so you can't burn it out. Like with Terra, you use the LD 20 turns in a row, whatever. You can't do that with Core because they'll use up the buff, so you have to be more careful, more strategic. It functions differently. That said, it's still a tremendous way to take advantage of both the turn stealers and a battery. Essentially, each of those attacks is an opportunity for Core to dump that brave. He also has an overhead that gives the party some decent, but not amazing auras, and it gains a stack whenever he does that bonus attack. At 10 stacks, he gets a one-time special instant turn HP attack that deals rainbow damage. Now, that's a slang term for automatically dealing maximum brave damage, ignoring all bullshit defense, brave reduction, whatever. It's going to be great going forward as reductions get higher. His LD is an instant turn big hit that gives him 10 stacks immediately, so when you need that taste the rainbow, you can do it right then. Boom, you have it, use it. Now, keep in mind, Core only gets the magical rainbow numbers on the charge-up special attack, so it's not something he's going to always have access to. It's a bonus, not the gimmick of his kit. So what is Core's gimmick? Reading him over, he's a hard one to put into a box, and since I get all of my information from either Compendium or MacLeod's videos usually, I'm kind of at a loss. But he has a bit of defensive utility, a bit of some interesting ways to pump out damage, and a smattering of auras. I know folks are going to be bringing up Yang or comparing him to tanks, but I actually see Core being closest to Trey. They both have the capability to dump a lot of brave over the course of a fight, so if you build the team around them, you can pump out a lot of damage. And they bring some extra team utility on top of it. I don't think that he's going to be filling roster gaps in upcoming content the same way Vivi, Balthier, or even Vincent did, but I suspect he'll open up some new and interesting ways for team building. I think he'll be a solid enough fella to slap on the team, but I think he's really going to reward thoughtful team building with him the centerpiece. You might even call him the core component of that team. Fuck. Kill me now. Yeah, I deserve that.